Well, at last we found out why America's scientists, professors, and other wise guys were attacked with a case of the galloping dumbs. It was all the fault of a mean little man from a mean little country.
Go on, say the name.
Pennsylvania.
Not that name, the other name.
Oh, Boris Badenov.
Ta-da!
Yes, armed with a weapon which fired clouds of a strange substance called goof gas, Boris was lowering the nation's IQ in a hurry.
You boys stop playing in that mother. I'll tell your father, the doctor.
Lady, that is my father, the doctor.
What's more, in our last episode, Boris even managed to get a shot at Rocky and Bullwinkle. The effect on Rocky was immediate.
Tell me about the rabbits, George.
But the effect on Bullwinkle was negligible.
Didn't bother me much either.
See? Shortly after that, the two villains headed south toward the nation's capital, but found their goof gas of little use.
Mr. Chairman, I propose we set up a $28 million committee to find out why the government is spending so much money.
Boris, what he said. You think he's already had some goof gas?
Natasha, what he said, that is goof gas.
And so the two no-good-nicks headed further south toward one of the country's most strategic areas.
Welcome to Cape Carnivorous.
All spies must register with security officer.
Come on.
We're not going to register.
Who's going to spy? We're just going to sabotage.
Halt, who goes there?
Watch. Hey, Sonny. It's sure nice to see you on the job there. Here's my pass.
But I don't think...
Now stand aside, young man.
Yes, sir, Mr. President.
And the goofy guard allowed Boris and Natasha to enter the top-secret missile base. Be with us next
Now,
time.
just a minute. This isn't the end.
No, but it won't be long now.
Oh, good heavens. Meanwhile, back in McKeesport, PA...
Rocky, baby, speak to me.
Sure, who are you?
Who am I?
So you're wondering, too?
I'm your pal, your good ever so best friend.
My best friend?
Yeah, now speak to me.
Hello, Mom.
Mom?
A squirrel's best friend is his mother.
Boy, I never thought I'd wind up as the smart one on this show.
Well, everybody ready to start to work?
Yes, it was Captain Peter Peachfuzz.
Captain, you're back to normal.
Yes, I haven't been there in years either. All those ivy-covered halls.
Where?
At Normal, of course. Waxahachie Normal, my old alma mater.
I mean, you don't have the galloping dumbs anymore.
Oh, those. No, I recovered in about 2 days, Bullwinkle.
2 days? Then that means in a little while Rocky will be back to normal.
I didn't know he was an alumnus.
He's not, he's a squirrel.
And sure enough, at that moment, our little hero shook his head and said...
Hey, I'm back to normal.
Oh, Waxahachie, fair and proud, thy sons and daughters sing out loud.
Hey, what's with Captain Peach Fuzz?
He's back to normal, too.
Our praise for you will never cease. All hail Magenta and Cerise.
But what happened?
We know what happened, so let's see what Boris and Natasha are up to.
We're up to about 75 feet from home plate.
Good heavens, those two miserable loafers are sneaking up on one of our missile launch control centers.
What else? You expect us to sneak down?
Well, we'll find out just what devilment they have in mind next time in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or the Quick Launch Counter.
So long, Pop.
Where you off to, Junior?
There's a circus going on at the Coliseum.
Well, in your present position, you'll never get there to see it.
What makes you say that, Pop?
Well, look at you.
Oh, my gosh. I put the pony in back of the chariot.
That's what is known as putting the cart before the horse. And while you're getting straightened out, I'll relate a fable illustrating that adage.
But, Pop, I'll miss the circus.
No, you won't. I'll make it short. This is the story of the 3 bears.
I've heard that one.
Charlie Bear and his wife Edna lived in a modest little home on the edge of the forest. One day after taking in a movie, they returned to their abode and made a rather startling discovery.
Hey, somebody's been eating my borscht.
And somebody's been eating my borscht.
I've heard this story, Pop.
Quiet. Further investigation of the living room brought out another remarkable fact.
Hey, somebody's been sitting in my Danish-type chaise lounge.
Somebody's been sitting in my Danish-type chaise lounge, too.
The mystery increased as they entered the upstairs bedroom.
Pop.
Hey, somebody's been sleeping in our Chinese modern Hollywood bed.
Somebody is sleeping in our Chinese modern Hollywood bed.
That someone turned out to be their rich Uncle Fabian. You heard this one before, Junior?
Uncle Fabian, what a pleasant surprise.
Bah! You're only glad to see me because I'm rich.
Oh, tut, what a vile thought. Let me hold your wallet for you, dear Uncle Fabian, sir.
I'll give you a wallet right in the head.
Later that evening, over dinner, a surprise announcement was made.
I have decided to put you two in my will.
Oh, what a sweet thing to do.
It sure is. Let me hold your wallet, huh?
There's only one catch. All my life, you know, I've been grumpy and irritable.
Oh, you've noticed that, have you?
Well, before I go to bear heaven, I want to be happy.
Well, Charlie can make you happy, can't you, Charlie?
Sure can. Let me hold your wallet.
Early the next morning, Charlie attempted to make his uncle happy. First of all, he took him to the edge of the cliff.
Look at that view, Uncle Fabian. Doesn't that make you want to smile?
Bah!
And Uncle Fabian pushed Charlie over the cliff.
Well, did you boys have fun today?
I did, but Uncle Fabian didn't.
I decided not to put you two in my will.
Oh, you can't do that, Uncle Fabian.
Oh, of course not. Let me hold your wallet, huh?
Tell you what, you've got all day tomorrow to make me happy. If you fail miserably, no legacy.
The next morning rolled around, as mornings usually do.
Now, this here is a golf club, Uncle Fabian, and that there is a golf ball. Now, you hit the ball with the club.
Charlie fully expected that he would get hit instead of the ball, but incredibly enough,
a hole in one! Oh, doesn't that make you happy?
that's when Uncle Fabian took out his number 2 iron and beat his nephew unmercifully about the head.
How's the head feel?
Which one?
Guess we're going to finish out of the money, huh?
Looks like, babe.
Charles?
Yes, Uncle Ebenezer. Uncle Fabian.
You almost made me happy today. Let's play golf again tomorrow.
If you say so, Uncle Fabian.
Oh, and, see what you can do about keeping the other golfers off the course. I want you and me to play alone.
It was a strange request and not an easy one to fulfill.
I'm sorry, Charlie, but I can't stop the other golfers from playing.
In desperation, Charlie sought the services of an old owl who lived in a cave.
You see this statue of a heart? Place it in front of the first tee and never look at it again. I guarantee you and your rich Uncle Fabian will have the course to yourselves.
Hey, that's great, Owl. How much do I owe you?
8 cents. We got a special on statues of hearts this week.
Charlie wasted no time in rushing to the first tee and placing the statue where the owl had directed. The following morning, golfers from all over the land signed up to play golf, but ran into trouble. For on their way to the first tee, they casually glanced at the heart and were immediately frozen to the spot. Meanwhile, back at Charlie and Edna's house...
No borscht for breakfast, Charlie?
Oh, I ain't got time, Edna. Me and Uncle Fabian are due at the golf course.
Well, you better hurry. Uncle Fabian left an hour ago.
Oh, no. He doesn't know about the heart.
Charlie dashed pell-mell through the streets and got to the course in record time. There his worst fears were confirmed, for standing like a block of ice in front of the statue was Uncle Fabian. To make matters worse, Charlie, too, looked at the statue, and he, too, froze solid. Uncle Fabian was never to be happy, and Charlie and Edna remained penniless. And so, you see, son, never put the cart before the horse.
I get you, Pop. Only there's a better way of saying it.
Oh?
Yeah. Never put the heart before the course.
Never put the... let's go see that circus, Junior.
And now, here's the one man on television who really makes you think, Mr. Know-It-All.
Yeah, and I know what you're thinking, too. Same to you, buddy. Today, friends, we take up the problem of making your neighbor quiet without making him angry. Take that loud radio music, for example. Politeness is the important thing, and it always brings a polite response in return. Hello, discuss your radio in a friendly, neighborly way.
My what?
Your radio!
Eh?
Radio, the radio!
Oh, all right.
Sometimes, however, it may become necessary to make your point in a stronger manner. Take that party next door, for example. One can usually get results by simply tapping gently on the wall. If that doesn't work, one must tap harder. And if that doesn't work, which naturally leaves just one thing to do, and that is join the party! Excuse me, please.
That's him, officer.
But, officer, I only blew it once, like this.
Gee, Mr. Know-It-All, it doesn't look to me like you're very successful at making your neighbors quiet.
Oh, I don't know, Rock. Here in solitary confinement, you can hear a pin drop.
Quiet over there! Shut up!
Dog team, what most Canadians use in the winter, and what some people call the Philadelphia Phillies. Here in the gold rush town of Skagway, dogs were used for other things beside teams. Take the annual sled pulling contest.
All right, boys. The man who can get his pup to pull this heavy sled across the street wins $10,000.
By nightfall, not one canine had been able to budge the sled. That's when a tall, dark mustache appeared, with a man behind it. Yes, Snidely Whiplash, Canada's Black Penny, had turned up again.
You in the contest, mister?
No, but my dog is.
Actually, it was a bull elephant, but Whiplash had taught it to scratch its ear, so no one knew the difference.
All right, Spot, pull the sled.
Unlike the others who yelled mush, Whiplash yelled
Sabu!
and the contest was no contest. Snidely had the $10,000, and what's more, he and Spot returned to Skagway every year and continued their winning ways.
Here's the $10,000, Mr. Whiplash.
Hands up, the Spot hasn't pulled yet.
Spot doesn't have to. No one's challenging.
Of course, you can get away with something like that just so long, and then the mounted police are bound to hear about it.
Did you hear about it, Do-Right?
Yes, Inspector, I heard about it.
That's as far as it got, until the following year.
Citizens of Skagway, your climate is superb, your hospitality boundless. But as far as this sled pulling contest is concerned, Spot and I are fed up.
How can you say that, Mr. Whiplash?
In 6 different languages, but it all means the same. We are bored. We need some competition.
And that's why an appeal was made to the Mounties.
Send Do-Right in here.
Do-Right is confined to barracks, sir.
By whose orders?
Do-Right's.
Oh. Do-Right, come out of there. Take your dog up to Skagway and pull a sled across the street.
No to all 3, sir.
What do you mean, no to all 3?
My dog won't go up to Skagway, pull a sled across the street, or let me out of the barracks. Will you, dog?
Dudley's faithful dog, in reality a thoroughbred wolf, had turned on his master.
He has a nasty disposition. Why don't you try muzzling him?
I did, but he ate the muzzle.
Then send him to a dog trainer.
Same as the muzzle, sir.
Roll over.
Faithful dog obeyed his normal instinct.
You certainly know how to handle animals, sir.
There's only one way to handle a brute like that. Corporal Muggadugger, place Do-Right's dog under arrest.
By 4 that afternoon, every man in the post had been driven into the barracks.
Men, we have an odd situation on our hands. How's the foot, Muggadugger?
The foot's okay, but I won't be going out for polo this year.
Quick, Inspector. Nell is entering the post.
Daddy, wherefore art thou, Daddy?
Oh, she must have gone for her Shakespeare lesson again. Nell, darling.
Where are you, Daddy?
Nell, my dearest, beware of the dog, else he will tear you to ribbons.
Too late. Faithful dog had spotted her. Ah, but Nell always carried a popcorn bag. She had the wolf eating out of her hands in no time.
Well, Inspector, I guess we can follow those orders now.
What orders were those?
Don't you remember?
No, do you?
No.
Why not take a vacation?
A keen idea, sir. Faithful Dog and I shall journey up to Skagway and enter the sled pulling race.
Skagway?
Dudley and his loyal companion made it to the bustling little gold rush town on the final day of competition.
Mr. Whiplash and his dog Rover. Spot, I'm sorry. Anyway, they are the only ones to get the sled across the street. Now, before I hand over the 10,000, is there anyone else who'll try?
Aye, Constable Do-Right of the Mounties will essay.
Curses, that numbskull might luck out.
As a precautionary measure, Whiplash drove stakes into the earth and then roped the sled firmly to them.
I don't care how strong his dog is, he'll never be able to move that sled.
What Whiplash didn't know was that this was the earthquake season. Sure enough, a tremor began in the glacier regions and manifested itself directly on the street of Skagway. The entire gathering was catapulted to the opposite side of the road. But Dudley, faithful dog, and the sled got there first.
A new world's record. Here's the money, Constable.
And so you see, Inspector, my vacation was not in vain.
No, it was in Skagway, wasn't it?
With the prize money, I bought some gifts from Snidely Whiplash. A king-size pipe for you, sir.
Wonderful.
And a king-size monocle for you, Nell, for your bad eye.
Oh, peachy.
What about yourself, Dudley?
For me, I bought a king-size dog.
Well, last time, Boris and Natasha had managed to smuggle their Goof gas gun onto one of our secret missile bases. Oh, is there no way they can be stopped?
Only if the show is canceled, buddy.
In that case, go ahead.
This way, Natasha.
Where to, Boris?
To the main control center.
Halt! Who's there?
What is it you wanted, young man?
Conductor, could you let me off at Mashola Parkway?
Boris, he's as dumb as they go.
And they're going any minute.
And, oh dear, inside the control center, a gaggle of America's jet-age whiz kids had prepared the greatest series of blast-offs of American missiles. And suddenly the door swung open. Boris emptied the entire remainder of his goof gas in the close quarters of the control room. The result, of course, was chaos. Some scientists began playing ball.
1, 2, 3, O'Leary. 4, 5, 6, O'Leary.
Others gathered stupidly in front of the control panel.
Look at the pretty light. Maybe we can make them spell something.
How about General Lejeune is a dope?
Oh, Werner, you're such a clown.
And the scientists began to flip the switches to try to spell words on the light panel. As a result, the United States made one of the strangest multiple launches ever recorded. Unfortunately, they all had one thing in common. They were all headed for parts of the United States itself.
Bullwinkle, we have to change the course of these missiles.
A good idea.
Some plucky fella's gonna shift them off course.
True.
Bullwinkle, will you for heaven's sake ask me how we're gonna do it?
Oh, of course. But, gee, Rock, how are we gonna do it?
Boy, try to be a modest hero in this program.
Okay. How?
I fly up to those missiles and direct them somewhere else.
It'll never work.
What makes you say so, Captain?
Oh, I'm just helping to build up suspense.
Ready, Bullwinkle?
Ready, Rock!
Then hurry!
Oop!
And the plucky squirrel hurtled up, and up. Faster and faster he went until he began to trail a thin black plume behind him.
Hokey smoke! Smoke!
Yes, he was going so fast that the friction of air was beginning to singe his fur, but that didn't stop our boy. Squirrel! Approaching the first missile, he shoved its nose violently to one side. Then he did the same with another, and still another, until he had redirected every missile out over the ocean. Then down he plunged, getting hotter and hotter.
Heavens to Eliza, he's a little fuzzy comet.
Fortunately, when the now almost hairless Rocky returned to Earth, Bullwinkle was waiting with a tub of water. Meanwhile, Boris was already in touch with the dictator of Pennsylvania.
You should have seen those crazy missiles, Chief. All directions at once.
And where are they all aimed now, Badinov?
Where are they all aimed now? Who knows?
Who knows? I'll tell you who knows. I know.
Boris, all those missiles landed right on Pennsylvania.
Well, time for a little vacation, Natasha.
Where?
How about the South Pole?
You know, Boris, this makes us look pretty stupid.
But there's one way you could look smarter, Natasha.
How's that, darling?
Shut up, you mouth!
And back in Frostbite Falls...
Gunny sacks, Rock. You've been appointed a official astronaut.
That's astronaut.
Funnier my way.
It was nothing that any patriotic flying squirrel wouldn't have done.
Rocky, there's only one word to describe a hero like you.
And that is?
Bold.
Be with us next time for the further adventures of Rocky the Flying Squirrel and his pal Bullwinkle.
Hooray! Hey, that's me.